Hey there, it's James Provo for technicalillustrators.org. Just wanted to run down some new features in Adobe Illustrator CS5 that you might find useful in your workflow. The first is a tool that lets you modulate and taper strokes. The old workflow was kind of tricky. You'd have to outline your stroke, add some points, and sort of round it out. You can do that, or try to set up a brush preset. In a drawing situation, it would get very messy quickly. If you were to scale these points down, it would start ruining the ellipse. And then brushes are always kind of tricky to fine-tune. But what they've added in CS5 is called the width tool, and it sits right here on the toolbar. And it lets you grab a stroke and pull out these control points, which allow you to set the width at that point on the stroke. So to taper a line, it's 2 clicks. The nice thing about it is that it stays as a stroke, so you can play with the stroke weight, or go back and play with the tapering the width at different points. So in drawing situations, it's very easy to control your line quality dynamically and then go back and modify it if need be. So to create that sort of tapered spatial edge, it's just 3 clicks. If you wanted to spend your lifetime on it, you could go in and make these threads look really nice. So it's pretty intuitive. I think they did a pretty good job on this tool. It's a welcome addition. Very nice line quality. If you had some construction lines, you can get some nice hand-drawn quality to the line. Thicker there, tapering away as if it was drawn by hand with a brush or a tech pen here. Pretty easy to use. The next thing I want to look at is the changes to the stroke palette. They've made some nice additions here. Previously in CS4, when you wanted to make a stroked box, for example, this was the only option, and it would give you rather ugly corners that you'd have to play with the gap to try and get these strokes to round the corner nicely. It was very gimmicky to play with, and then you often had to end up expanding it out and then tweaking the points. It's kind of painful to use. And similarly with freeform strokes, it gave you a lot of difficulty at the corners. So in CS5, they've added to the stroke palette an option to align strokes to corners of paths, and that gives you a nice even look. And how it does that is it slightly changes the gap width, though it won't be as precise, but for most purposes this will be a great addition. And it also gives your strokes a nice even start and finish. So for your extension lines, you can get them nice and even. The next thing is the arrowhead. They've moved it from Effect, Stylize, Add Arrowhead right to the palette, and it makes it very easy to apply these arrowheads. And if you happen to put it on the wrong side of the stroke, there's this nice reverse stroke thing right on the palette. Previously I used a script to accomplish that, but it's nice to have it right here. And then you can change the scaling and even the alignment, either at the starting at the tip of the stroke or extending beyond it. So if you want to do rather precise arrowheads, it's easy to control it without sort of faking it. And then the last thing on here is sort of these preset profiles for strokes. And I believe you can set custom strokes somehow. Some options down here. I'll let you play with it. The next thing is the Pathfinder palette, and they've kind of made it obsolete. Previously, there were some sort of glitches with Pathfinder. If you wanted to create sort of a screw head that was combined flathead and Phillips, you would draw your geometry, and then you'd start slicing it up, and stuff like that would happen. But they've added a shape builder which works kind of like Flash if you've used it. So you select a group of objects and you start getting a sort of highlight thing happening, and then you can click and drag over top of things and it'll do the old unite, or you can hold Option and it'll subtract, and you can even marquee select to accomplish the same thing. So I think that'd be useful in the future. If you found anything else in CS5 that you think could be useful, let us know in the comments. Thanks.